This is Lieutenant Dick Swain of the Burglary and Theft Division of the Dallas Police Department. We're now standing directly on the spot where the shooting occurred a few moments ago. Lieutenant Swain was the first man who emerged from the door in the group of officers that escorted Lee Harvey Oswald from the Dallas jail office here to our left. Lieutenant Swain, what did you see from your point?
When I first came out, the news media were covering from the entrance on both sides of the ramp coming down. They were formed on this side completely around here, and they moved in between the car and our path to load the prisoner. There was some on the right and some on the left side of the car. I moved in to move the news media back so that the car might be backed up closer so that there wouldn't be any trouble loading them. And at that time, I had worked them back like that and looked over to my right to make sure that the car was moving, and about that time the shot fired. And I immediately turned my head in this direction, looking immediately at the sound. He had to come from this area over here because I had the area from here over to here covered. And I had just covered, he wasn't in there, he had to come from this area right here, and apparently he made one long dive. Because there was officers in between here, and he had to dive through the officers to get there. I don't know whether there was 3 or 4 in here to my left, but the news media from this point here over to here were fairly well cleared back and whether the car could move back. And he made a dive, and he wouldn't have been about over 2 feet from the Oswald when he fired the shot.
So it was a completely point-blank blast.
Point blank. It had to be a point-blank blast.
One of our cameramen was knocked over as he dived out here.
Because there was no sign of any movement. All cameramen were standing practically still in this area here at the time. There's a reason I moved my head from left to right to check the movement of the car coming back. And he would have had to come from that 4 or 5 feet that lay between this post and the large pillar over there. And that, of course, they were in a semicircle this way.
Right. Lieutenant, to your knowledge, what is the background of Ruby? What is his background here in Dallas?
Well, he's been known as a showman in the area. He moved back and forth from the country over a period of 20-some-odd years. He does own a nightclub of some type. Of course, I don't have much association with those anymore. But he has been known to have taverns and night spots and things like that over a period of 20-some-odd years.
Thank you, Lieutenant Swain. Lieutenant Richard Swain of the Dallas Burglary and Theft Division, who was standing here beside us when the shot was fired here in the basement of Dallas Police Headquarters. This is Bob Huffaker reporting.